करते तायर अपनी बोली में कि तू की गुन गाते कि तू की गुन गाते हैं ये सब चाहने में कि तू के गुन गाते हैं ये सब चाहने में तू ही है कादिर मुतलक सदा इस कारखाने में मेरे मौला तेरा सानी नहीं सारे ज़माने में जहाँ देखूं वहाँ पाऊं जहाँ देखूं वहाँ पाऊं जहाँ देखूं वहाँ पाऊं जहाँ देखूं वहाँ पाऊं जहाँ देखूं
Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear listeners, you are now listening to Radio Seerah Madrasa Hour with you, Sheikh Saleh. Yes, 1575 AM. Okay, so let us continue. Children, you can call in. And I think you know the number already. You can call in so that we can, yes, take part with you in either reciting the Quran. You can do what you do best. Some of you are very good with nasheed. Some of you are very good with stories. Some of you are very good in everyone has gifts that Allah has given to them. So inshallah, feel free to call in so that we know your talent. Yes, so let's continue inshallah. Last time we had stories of the prophets. While we were waiting for you to call in the meantime, we had stories of the prophets. And today, inshallah, while I'm waiting for you, we'll carry on with the stories of the prophets. And we started with the stories of the prophet Adam alayhi salam. The story of the Prophet Adam. And I asked a question, I posed a question. One question was, why do we learn the stories of the prophets? What is the benefit? Is there any benefit to learn from these stories? So tell me the benefit of it. Why do we learn all these stories of the prophets in the Quran? Is there any benefit? Okay, that is one question. I want you to respond to me quickly. And I said the answer, I gave you a clue. There's an answer in the Quran concerning that question. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala responds to us in the Quran. Okay, so I want you to respond to me. Before I continue, I'll wait for your answer, inshallah. Okay? Right. I'm still waiting for your answer. Okay, the benefits of learning the stories of the prophets. Okay. Okay, so the stories of the prophets. Right. Okay, I'm still waiting for the answer. So inshallah, yes. I will leave you to it. Okay, I'll leave you to it. Yes, we understand now the conversation that Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam and Namrud had, da'wah to Ibrahim, when Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam called upon his people. So the news reached Namrud when he heard that there's a boy out there who does not worship our idols and who does not worship you, but he worships Allah, the Creator. He says he's the Creator of the heavens and the earth. So Namrud asked for this boy to be brought. So Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, now Amam al-Malik, he's in front of the Malik, the king. كان في المدينة ملك كبير جدا وظالم جدا. So in the city that Ibrahim was, there was a Malik, a king, وظالم جدا, a great king, as the people thought of, and وظالم جدا, and he was unjust, extremely unjust. وكان الناس يسجدون للملك, and people used to worship this Malik. وسمع الملك أن إبراهيم يسجد الله ولا يسجد لأحد. And Malik, the king, heard that Ibrahim alayhi salam prostrate to Allah alone and no one else. فغضب الملك, and Malik got very angry. وطلب إبراهيم, and request for Ibrahim. وجاء إبراهيم, and Ibrahim came. وكان إبراهيم لا يخاف أحدا إلا الله, and Ibrahim never used to fear anyone except Allah. قال الملك من ربك يا إبراهيم. So we read this story before when Ibrahim was asked, who is your Lord? And he said, my Lord is Allah. Yes. Who is Allah? Sayyidina Ibrahim said, the one who gives life and who causes people to die. الذي يحيي ويميت. And Al-Malik, and the Malik brought two people. He said, I also give life and take away life. So he killed one of his citizens and he let one live. So, and he said, do you see that I also kill and also give life? So now Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam wanted to teach a lesson to the king. وأراد إبراهيم أن يفهم الملك ويفهم قومه فقال إبراهيم للملك. So what did he do? Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam wanted to teach the king, also his people, the king's people, a lesson. فإن الله يأتي بالشمس من المشرق فأت بها من المغرب. Indeed, Allah brings the sun from the east, you bring it from the west instead. Cause it to rise from the west. فتحير الملك وسكت. So, what happened to Malik? He kept quiet and he was ashamed. وخجل الملك وما وجد جوابا. He could not find any answer, flabbergasted. So, وأراد إبراهيم أن يدعو والده أيضا فقال له. And also Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam wanted to call upon his people, his father, towards Islam. Ya abati, O my father, lima ta'budu ma la yasma' wa la yubsir. Why do you worship that which cannot see nor can it hear? وَلِمَ تَعْبُدُ مَا لَا يَنْفَعُ وَلَا يَضُرُّ. Why do you worship that which can neither harm you nor benefit you? Ya abati la ta'budu shaitan. Oh Allah, oh my father, don't worship shaitan. Because don't forget, these were the tricks and plots of shaitan to make people worship idols instead of worshipping the Creator. So, Ya abati, i'budu ar-Rahman, oh my father, worship ar-Rahman, the most merciful, the most gracious. وَغَضِبَ وَالِدُ Ibrahim. Instead, the father of Ibrahim got angry. وَقَالَ أَنَا أَضْرِبُكَ. I'll beat you up. فَاتْرُكْنِي وَلَا تَقُلْ شَيْئًا. Leave me alone and don't tell me anything. وَكَانَ إِبْرَاهِيمُ حَلِيمًا. Ibrahim was very clement. فَقَالَ لِوَالِدِهِ. And he said to his father, سَلَامٌ عَلَيْكَ. Peace be upon you. Salamun alayk, peace be upon you. This is in Surah Maryam. Like I said, this surah, the story of Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, is in various chapters, not just in one chapter. We read the story of Ibrahim in Surah Al-Anbiya. We read it in Surah Al-Anbiya, Surah Al-Safat, yes, and also it was in Surah Al-Baqarah, and also he's in Surah Maryam. He's in Surah Maryam. So part here, part there, part. So which is the surah? Tell me one surah which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reveal the story of one of his prophets in full, in one chapter, in full. Tell me the name of one surah that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reveals the story of one of his prophets in full in that chapter. Okay, that is your second question. Right. So, Salamun alayk. Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam tells his father, peace be upon you. وَقَالَ لَهُ أَنَا أَذْهَبُ مِنْ هُنَا وَأَدْعُو رَبِّي. I'm leaving here, and وَأَدْعُو رَبِّي, and I will ask Allah for you. وَتَأَسَّفَ إِبْرَاهِيمُ جِدًّا. And Ibrahim was disappointed. وَأَرَادَ أَنْ يَذْهَبَ إِلَى بَلَدٍ آخَرٍ. And Ibrahim wanted to migrate to another city. وَيَعْبُدُ رَبَّهُ, and worship his Lord. وَيَدْعُو النَّاسَ إِلَى اللَّهِ, and call people to Allah. So now journey to Mecca. وغضب قوم إبراهيم وغضب الملك وغضب والد إبراهيم وأراد إبراهيم أن يسافر إلى بلد آخر ويعبد فيه الله ويدعو الناس إلى الله وخرج إبراهيم من بلده وودع والده. So Ibrahim left and said goodbye to his father. وقصد إبراهيم مكة ومعه زوجه هاجر. He left for Mecca, and with him, Sayyidina Ibrahim, was his wife Hajar. وكانت مكة ليس فيها عشب ولا شجر. And Mecca in those days, at the time of Sayyidina Ibrahim, first time when he reached there, ليس فيها عشب. كانت ليس فيها عشب. There were no leaves ولا شجر, and no trees. وكانت مكة ليس فيها بئر ولا نهر. And in Mecca at that time there was no bi'r, water well, and no river, no nahar. وكانت مكة ليس فيها حيوان ولا بشر. And at that time there was no bashar, no people, ولا حيوان, and there were no animals in Mecca. ووصل إبراهيم إلى مكة ونزل فيها. So Ibrahim alayhi salam reached Mecca and stayed there. وترك إبراهيم زوجه هاجر. So Ibrahim alayhi salam left his wife Hajar وولده Ismail, and his boy Ismail. ولما أراد إبراهيم أن يذهب, when Ibrahim alayhi salam wanted to go, قالت زوجه هاجر. His wife Hajar said, إلى أين يا سيدي? Oh, my husband, where are you going? أتتركني هنا? Are you leaving me here? أتتركني وليس هنا ماء ولا طعام? Do you leave me here with no food, no drink? هل أمرك الله بهذا? Has your Lord ordered you to do this? قال إبراهيم نعم. Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam said yes. قالت هاجر, and Hajar said, إذن لن يضيعنا. Therefore Allah will not forsake us. Allah will not forsake us. بئر Zamzam. Now, look, first of all, if we have to go back and talk about the situation here when Sayyidina Ibrahim a.s. was asked to go back and leave Hajar and his little boy Ismail there. We know it's a long story what happened after that. And that's why until today, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was so happy with the actions of Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam and his wife Hajar, and also the actions of Sayyidina Ismail alayhi salam. And that's why we commemorate something called Hajj. Most of the rituals, most of the rites that take place is to commemorate these footsteps of Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was so happy with him for the success and for the sacrifice that he has made. And we find that throughout from his childhood. And that's why he possessed the word or the name called Khalilullah, best friend of Allah, the best friend of Allah, Khalilullah. This is his title. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, ما كان إبراهيم يهوديا ولا نصرانيا ولكن كان حنيفا مسلما وما كان من المشركين. Ibrahim, neither was he a Jew nor was he a Christian, but he was an upright Muslim, and he never associated partner with Allah, never associated anyone with Allah, nothing else. When people say they worship other than Allah and then claim that Prophet Ibrahim was their prophet, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala defend Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam in the Quran by saying, ما كان إبراهيم يهوديا ولا نصرانيا ما كان إبراهيم يهوديا ولا نصرانيا ولكن كان مسلما ولكن كان حنيفا مسلما وما كان من المشركين. Yes. So, Sayyidina Ibrahim, that was Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam. As we can see, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also tells us, وَقُلْ صَدَقَ اللَّهِ, say Allah has spoken the truth, فَاتَّبِعْ مِلَّةَ إِبْرَاهِيمَ حَنِيفًا, and follow the tradition of Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam, who was an upright Muslim. So now, وَقَالَ لَهُ, now Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, what happened when he left his wife Hajar and his son Ismail? What happened then? We'll come back straight after the break. Jazakumullah khairan. Where are those children who'd like to call in? Where are those children? Okay, let's have a break and we'll come back, inshallah.
ख्वाहिशों से भरा दिल यूं जलता रहा मैं मदीने की राहों पे चलता रहा दफ्न में हूँगा अब तू चगे यार में दफ्न में हूँगा अब तू चगे यार में बस गिलानी का दिल यूं मचलता रहा बस गिलानी का दिल यूं मचलता रहा मैं मदीने की राहों पे चलता 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 रहा यूं सआदत के ज़ीनों पे चढ़ता रहा यूं सआदत के ज़ीनों पे चढ़ता रहा मैं मदीने की राहों पे चलता रहा मैं मदीने की राहों पे चलता रहा मैं मदीने की राहों पे चलता
يا من عصيت الله يوما غافلا أنسيت أن الله قد أعطاك نعم عليك كثيرة لو صنتها لأطعت خالقك الذي رباك. بصر وسمع والكلام مكمل، سبحان من أعطاك ثم حماك. من بعدها تقوى على عصيانه، يا للوقاحة كيف تفعل ذاك. تجرؤ على فعل المعاصي قاصدا، فتظن أن الله ليس يراك. يا من عصيت الله يوما غافلا، أنسيت أن الله قد أعطاك. نعم عليك كثيرة لو صنتها، لأطعت خالقك الذي رباك. لأطعت خالقك الذي رباك. اعلم بأن الله يعلم كل ما في الكون، لا يخفى على مولاك. شيطان نفسك حاضر متأصل، يبغي بك النار التي تصلاك. جاهده بالتقوى وبالعلم الذي تسمو به، حتى تنال مناك. حتى تنال مناك. خالف هواك وجاهد النفس التي بالسوء تأمر والهوى أغواك. النفس والشيطان إن خالفتها، أفلحت في الأولى وفي أخراك. أفلحت في الأولى وفي أخراك.
Did you ever hear about the boy who ate and ate and ate? He ate early in the morning and he ate when it was late, but he didn't thank Allah for all the yummy food he had. And he ate so much it made him sick, which really made him sad. He ate dates in Damascus, which he thought were very nice. Hot samosas in Sumatra, seasoned with a special spice. He had tacos in Tijuana with some sauce he got from Spain, and a bowl of fresh baklava that he bartered in Bahrain. He said gyros made in Cairo are a taste that can't be beat, and the lemonade in Yemen made a very special treat. But the turkey made in Turkey could still use a pinch of salt. If you ever visit Malta, you should have a chocolate malt. He had pizza in his pocket, he had ketchup on his shirt, and he bought an ice cream sundae so he wouldn't miss dessert. He had pizza in his pocket, he had ketchup on his shirt, and he bought an ice cream sundae so he wouldn't miss dessert. On a bay in the Bahamas, he had bonbons in a bunch. Then he rushed back home so he could make it just in time for lunch. Then one day he saw a little girl who held her tummy tight, and he walked over and asked her, "Is everything all right?" She said she was so hungry, been hungry for so long. Then he realized the way he ate was very, very wrong. He looked down at his own tummy and he started feeling pain. Pain from eating too much food, but he knew not to complain. So he brought the girl some food, shared it with her family. Then they thanked Allah for what they had and then he let them be. So let's try to learn a lesson and let's try to do what's right. Eat the food your parents give you without a fuss or fight. Always be thankful to Allah for all your yummy food. Share what you have with others, cause not sharing is rude. Being thankful is what's really great. Eat the veggies on your plate and don't be like the boy who ate and ate and ate. He had pizza in his pocket, he had ketchup on his shirt, and he bought an ice cream sundae so he wouldn't miss dessert. Yes, a pizza in his pocket and ketchup on his shirt, and he bought an ice cream sundae so he wouldn't miss dessert. Being thankful is what's really great. Eat the veggies on your plate and don't be like the boy who ate and ate and ate. Hey!
There were once some people who all saw their lives like empty boxes. They looked around the world collecting up the things they liked. They filled their lives in boxes with the goodies that they gathered, and they all felt in control, content, and they all felt alright. They climbed inside their boxes, they settled with their trinkets. They neither looked nor learned much more and closed their lids up tight. Once they'd fastened up their boxes, they smiled there inside, and they all thought in their darkness that the world was clear and bright. But the world is not a box. There's no lid, no doors, no cardboard flaps or locks. And everything in nature, from the clouds to the rocks, is a piece of the puzzle of the purpose of man. It's a piece of the peace of Islam. Along came a wandering wise man, whispering such words of truth, who stumbled on these boxes so separate side by side. He knocked upon the first one, saying, "Please come out and feel the day." An answer came from deep within, "You're not of us, please go away." He approached the second box and tapped thrice on the lid, saying, "Peace to you inside, shall I show you a new way?" Someone peeked out from a crack and said, "You may just have a point, but it's so comfy in my box. In my box here I will stay." But the world is not a box. There's no lid, no doors, no cardboard flaps or locks. And everything in nature, from the clouds to the rocks, is a piece of the puzzle of the purpose of man. It's a piece of the peace of Islam. He stood before the final box, a hiding face peeked out to him. And much to his surprise, he said, "I recognize those eyes. I see you and you see me. Why not come out and be free? Faith and flowers wilt and die if they are hidden from the sky. 'Cause the world is not a box. There's no lid, no doors, no cardboard flaps or locks. And everything in nature, from the clouds to the rocks, is a piece of the puzzle of the purpose of man. It's a piece of the peace of Islam." Now centuries lie between all the prophets and you and I. Civilizations are born and die each and every day. We see good and bad and happy, sad, and mad mistakes we wish we hadn't made in our attempt to try and live up to their way. But if we hide ourselves away, afraid to grow and learn, we might wake up in the flames of the ignorance that burns, and we'll never be much more than only casualties of war in a struggle we can't win if we have no faith to begin. We've got to tip the lid and let some sunlight in. 'Cause the world is not a box. There's no lid, no doors, no cardboard flaps or locks. And everything in nature, from the clouds to the rocks, is a piece of the puzzle.
وسبحانه قد نزل الذكر شرعة سماوية تدعو لأسمى الشعائر ويسره للناس حتى شدا به لسان رسول الله لسان رسول هديلا يفرح القلب الحزين الحزين أعيدي يا طيور وأسمعينا أسمعين هديلا يفرح القلب الحزين وباسم محمد زف الأغاني رحيقا في قلوب المخلصين. ذكر محمد أغلى نشيدا ومجد محمد أحلى رنينا، ولو طاف اسمه بالروض يوما فتطوى في المنى بالساهرين. فذكر محمد أغلى نشيدا ومجد محمد أحلى رنينا، ولو طاف اسمه بالروض يوما تطوى في المنى بالساهرين. تبدل كل شوك فيه وردا وحول كل نبت ياسمينا. تبدل كل شوك فيه وردا وحول كل نبت ياسمينا. أعيدي يا طيور وأسمعينا أسمعين هديلا يفرح القلب الحزين أعيدي يا طيور وأسمعينا أسمعين هديلا يفرح القلب الحزين وباسم محمد زف الأغاني رحيقا في قلوب المخلصين. إله الكون قد أهديت نورا حكى أنواره للناظرين، وأهدى من ضياء الشمس حسنا ضياء محمد للحائرين. إله الكون قد أهديت نورا حكى أنواره للناظرين، وأهدى من ضياء الشمس حسنا ضياء محمد للحائرين. نبي الله أشرق في قريش وكانوا بالظلام موسدين. نبي الله أشرق في قريش وكانوا بالظلام موسدين. أعيدي يا طيور وأسمعينا أسمعين هديلا يفرح القلب الحزين أعيدي يا طيور وأسمعينا أسمعين هديلا يفرح القلب الحزين وباسم محمد زف الأغاني رحيقا في قلوب المخلصين. وكم وأدوا البنات وهم أساة فما رحموا البنات ولا البنين، قد اتخذوا من الأحجار ربا فصاروا كالحجارة خامدين. وكم وأدوا البنات وهم قساة فما رحموا البنات ولا البنين، قد اتخذوا من الأحجار ربا صاروا كالحجارة خامدين. يأتي منقذ من أرض روما أينقذهم رسول من أثينا. أيأتي منقذ من أرض روما أينقذهم رسول من أثينا. أعيدي يا طيور وأسمعينا أسمعين هديلا يفرح القلب الحزين أعيدي يا طيور وأسمعينا أسمعين هديلا يفرح القلب الحزين وباسم محمد زف الأغاني رحيقا في قلوب المخلصين. حراء بذلك الإنقاذ أحرى ومكة تنبت العز المكين. جبال أثمرت بستان وحين وفاضت كوثرا للشاربين. حراء بذلك الإنقاذ أحرى ومكة تنبت العز المكين. جبال أثمرت بستان وحين وفاضت كوثرا للشاربين. وجاء محمد أهلا وبشرى بمنقذ دهرنا دنيا ودينا. أعيدي يا طيور وأسمعينا أسمعين هديلا يفرح القلب الحزين أعيدي يا طيور وأسمعينا أسمعين هديلا يفرح القلب الحزين وباسم محمد زف الأغاني رحيقا في قلوب المخلصين. هو الأمي لم يقرأ كتابا فعلم قارئين وكاتبين، فواعجبا لقوم كذبوه ألم يك بينهم يدعى الأمين. هو الأمي لم يقرأ كتابا فعلم قارئين وكاتبين، فواعجبا لقوم كذبوه ألم يك بينهم يدعى الأمين. ومن يعرف بصدق في صباه ومن يعرف في صباه يصدق عند سن 40. عيدي يا طيور وأسمعينا أسمعينا أسمعينا هديلا يفرح القلب الحزين الحزين الحزين. أعيدي يا طيور وأسمعينا أسمعينا أسمعينا هديلا يفرح القلب الحزين الحزين الحزين. وباسم محمد زف الأغاني رحيقا في قلوب المخلصين. وباسم محمد زف الأغاني رحيقا في قلوب المخلصين. وباسم محمد زف الأغاني رحيقا في قلوب المخلصين. عيدي يا طيور وأسمعينا هديلا يفرح القلب الحزين. أعيدي يا طيور وأسمعينا هديلا يفرح القلب الحزين. وباسم محمد زف الأغاني رحيقا في قلوب المخلصين. ظلام الليل قد ملأ الروابي وأخلدت الحياة به سكونا. وأهل الكفر يأتوا في سهاد يزيد على سهاد المغرمين. ظلام الليل قد ملأ الروابي وأخلدت الحياة به سكونا. وأهل الكفر يأتوا في سهاد يزيد على سهاد المغرمين. فهل سهروا لإدراك المعاني أفي الخيرات كانوا ساهرين؟ لقد مكروا فما ظفروا بخير وإن الله خير الماكرين. أعيدي يا طيور وأسمعينا هديلا يفرح القلب الحزين. أعيدي يا طيور وأسمعينا هديلا يفرح القلب الحزين. وباسم محمد زف الأغاني رحيقا في قلوب المخلصين. رسول الله حل بغار ثوري مع الصديق محروسا مكينا. وصاحبه يخاف عليه جورا وبغيا من قساة جائرين. فقال له النبي اصبر وصابر فإن النصر عقبى الصابرين. فنحن اثنان ثالثنا إله فلا تك يا أبا بكر حزينا. أعيدي يا طيور وأسمعينا هديلا يفرح القلب الحزين. أعيدي يا طيور وأسمعينا هديلا يفرح القلب الحزين. وباسم محمد زف الأغاني رحيقا في قلوب المخلصين. قريش تبتغي إرجاع طه بكل رجالهم مستأجرين. فقام سراقة يحدو جوادا ليربح من جمالهم المئين. إذا بجواده يكبو صريعا كأن صهيله أضحى أنينا. سراقة عد وسيفك في قراب أجئت تحارب